Perfect. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
You want me to look at you or camera or?
You just look at me, just like we're having a conversation and talking, so
Okay.
we should be good to go.
All right.
All right, here we go. Good morning, everyone. This is Jack Hart with IL Sports Wire here. The special interview with Coach Trevor Higgins, now the head coach of the Central A&M Raiders football team. Coach, welcome today.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Coach, let's first start out talking about your career, talk about how you got to this moment. I know you had your 10 years at Pana, but let's just start from day one. You're a Central A&M grad. You started here in this community. Where'd it go from after graduating high school, and how'd you get to here now?
Yeah, I attended Richland Community College, went to Milliken, then got my teaching degree, taught junior high PE down in Pana for about 14 years, and then got the opportunity to jump into full-time ministry here at the church in Moiqua. I've grown up in Moiqua, but throughout my time down in Pana, I was assistant coach to Coach Al Stupek. And then after he stepped down, I took the head coaching job there and coached down in Pana for about 18 years. I loved my time over there. Took a year off just because, I was just kind of getting stressed out. Took on too much. Family was getting stressed. And so we kind of sat down and decided what was best for us was to take a break. To prevent some burnout, but also to allow myself time to really refocus faith and family. So thought we'd take about 3 or 5 year break, and the job at A&M opened up, and a lot of people asked me if I would apply for it, and so talked with my wife and my family and life mentors, and just seemed like God was opening the door, and so it was time for us to step through.
Yeah, it sounds like an absolute blessing and something, God had you on the right path there. Coach, let's talk about your experience at Pana. You were there for 10 years. You had a almost 80% win range. You went to several quarterfinals in state. Talk about Pana, coaching there, and how it's really, set you up in this career for the future.
Yeah, I love Pana. Second family, walked me through a lot of hard times in life, and was there for me every step of the way, was nothing but supportive from parents and administration, and just a great program overall, great community. Also just kind of felt like, that they deserve a semifinal game, state game that they've never been to yet, and so maybe it was time for me to step down and maybe allow someone else the opportunity to get them there because they deserve that. But my time there, I met so many just good relationships with those kids, parents and coaches that still contact me. The amount of people from Pana that congratulated me when I got this job just helped me to realize that those relationships are the kind of what I missed that year off, staying on the outside of the fence and looking in. Just missed spending time with players and coaches and the community, and so that was part of it. But forever a part of my life, a second family to me, and obviously Coach Ramsey's there now, pulling for him to get them there, and I know that those kids work hard over there, but now the opportunity arises here for me to try to build off of what's going on here at A&M and to try to get them to that level now.
Yeah, you take that new step now. You're going from your success at Pana, but you got a new set of kids, a new community, a town very familiar with. You said your family's here, you've been here your entire life. Talk about the impact and what you're hoping to accomplish at Central A&M.
Yeah, the first thing for me is, like I said, the relationships. And I kind of see this job as an outreach or a ministry opportunity for me to be able to show the kids in the community in my hometown what a relationship with Jesus looks like. And I coach a little differently than a lot of people. Instead of motivating through fear, I try to coach and motivate out of love for the kids. I feel like if you show the kids how much you care about them and not only on the field but off the field as well, and you build that relationship with them, that they'll play hard for you. And so for me, it was just an opportunity to build that culture of relationships. Our new motto is family, fight, finish. Family being the first one. I want every kid to feel like they're a part of the team, whether they're starting varsity quarterback or they're a fourth-year senior playing special teams. Everyone's important. Everyone matters, from coaches to training staff to the guys holding the chains. It takes a lot of people to run a successful program. And so, building relationships with me is huge. Like the coaching staff we've been able to put together, they're really excited. We got some guys coming back from last year. We got some newbies coming in, and we've met a couple times. I got Ross Forlines from Ocala Valley. He's been around. He was a head coach at Shelbyville, assistant coach at Sullivan for a while. He's going to be the defensive coordinator. So a lot of excitement in both communities right now for the football season, and man, just hoping to build off of those relationships, but also, man, these kids are hungry for wins. They're hungry for playoff runs. And so I feel like you build those relationships and you build that culture, that's going to equal out to the wins. And that's what happened down in Pana. It wasn't anything I did. Man, we just had a lot of talented guys. I surrounded myself with a great group of coaches, and we were able to get it done down there. So hoping that formula works up here too.
Yeah, talk about, there's a lot that goes into when you're switching to a new job. You're the new head coach, new guy in town. How did you figure out what coaches you wanted behind you, where you wanted them, the personnel, the exact personnel, taking some of the guys that were here before, but also adding a new couple guys to really motivate this team? Talk about a lot of that behind the scenes that people don't really hear, or things that, are not seen on the outside perspective.
Yeah, I don't think people realize how much work actually goes into being the head coach. And one of those pieces is the coaching staff. And for me, number one is I want our coaches to be on the same page, that we are in it for the kids only. I'm not in it to lord power over kids or for wins, for my resume. We are totally in it for the kids, and we want the kids to be successful. And I want coaches who want to dive into these kids' lives to help them throughout life now. And then my biggest thing is, man, if a kid is done with our program and is going through something in life and needs help, man, if one of our coaches is a name that pops in their head to text or reach out to, that's successful to me. And so to build a coaching staff, I felt like, number one, they had to be in it for the kids. Number two, I have to be able to trust them. And so I give a lot of power to the assistant coaches. So if you're the receivers coach, you're the expert at the fundamental drills and getting kids ready for that position. I give you the system, but I need you to be the professional at that spot and how that works into the system. And so I got to be able to trust that they're going to go out and they're going to learn the system first, and then they're going to find drills and be able to provide just an experience for those kids. That not only are we working hard, but we need to have a little fun too. That's why you do it. You play for the success, but you also play because you love the game, right? And so we want kids to be able to love the game, and the coaches bring a lot of that hype and a lot of that relationships. And so I just want them to, man, be all in, just like I am. And so just hope that, they are able to then, like I said, build relationships with these kids, and then hopefully that they have an influence over them.
Yeah, to say you need to have a little fun. Last year, Central A&M, it was kind of a rough year. A lot of injuries, a lot of unknowns, a lot of frustrations in this community. And this community based off their football. They live for their football. Talk about telling this team, these coaching staff, these communities, say, hey, this is a new year, this is a new team. We're setting aside what happened last year. We're looking to the fall of 2026.
Yeah, first off, I've got to say, man, thank you to Coach Weekly for the time and effort and all the time that he put in to this program, the things he was able to accomplish, going to state a few years back, and it is not easy. And so I understand, why he felt like maybe resigning was good, to give him a break too. So wish him well and whatever happens. But when you get hit with those injuries, those were tough injuries. I mean, when you looked at the sideline and 6 to 8 guys are not dressed for a game, you're just not going to be able to have success. And so a lot of our focus right now is the weight room. Not only lifting, but also speed and agility, also stretching, rest and recovery. We're trying to preach all these things to kids, because football season is a grueling season, and for a small school to be successful, man, you gotta stay healthy. And so we're just trying to do everything we can right now to prevent injuries. Obviously injuries will happen, and you've got to be able to overcome that, and it's got to be the next man up. And so we've got to also run our practices and run our drills in a way that if someone goes down, that the next guy's ready to come up and fill that spot. And that's on myself and the coaching staff to be able to do that. And so there's a ton of athletes here. We were able to go up to Rochester and at a combine, and man, some of our guys that participated in that were top notch against 150 other players in the area. And so we've got a lot of dudes, and so it's just going to be up to us as a coaching staff to put those guys in positions to be successful on offense and defense and special teams. And I feel like if we can do that, man, we'll have some successes here.
Yeah, for sure. It's only in April right now. It just started to be May, and you're taking your guys up to a top combine up in Rochester with a lot of the schools that you probably will see down the road in playoffs, see in your competition. Talk us through that combine and how that went through. I know a lot of people saw that in the news, but talk about that combine overall and help you guys as you take on some of those top players and show some talent out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great event put on by Coach Leonard at Rochester for an opportunity for kids at a small school like Central A&M to go over there and get seen by 35 plus college coaches is just a great opportunity for them. And so it was also good for us because all we've kind of seen them in is the weight room. And so it was kind of good for us to see them in some football drills. And man, I tell you what, our guys really competed. Aiden Seitz and Victor at receiver just have great hands, great route running. Rhett McLean's coming back from an ACL. He had to sit out all last year. He was able to go there as a quarterback and get some throws in under his belt. And then we had Emmett Stinger, who went with our linebackers and got seen by quite a few college coaches that loved how he looked in those linebacker drills. And then we had Colin Reed and Hunter Poppenhouse at our line, and both of them also got talked to by college coaches there. So we competed at a high level. It was exciting for us to see that because finally you get to do some football stuff rather than just lifting. And so it just, for me, it solidified that, man, we have dudes. I'm excited. Let's get these guys together and let's figure out how to get them to be successful.
No, that's super exciting. Nice confidence boost for you as a coach, but also for those players to say, hey, we can compete against, say, team like Rochester has 9 state championships in 4A or any of those type of top teams there that we'd be super excited for. Yeah. Cam, Central A&M, Okaw Valley, a lot of questions around those two competing together, but you guys already do it for football. Talk about the importance of having both those communities and connecting both of them as a head coach now of not even just Central A&M and Weequa, but over there with the Bethany and Findlay area as well.
Yeah, one of the first things that we kind of talk through is how do we make them also feel a part of the family. Being a different school, being about a 20-minute drive. And so I've made it a priority to be over there. I've been over there about 4 times already, met with the kids, brought some pizza over, just hung out with them for a little bit, talked about our summer stuff. But also I wanted to make sure that we had some coaches there that have built relationships with those kids. So we have, Ross Forlines, who's going to be a defense coordinator. We have Bubba Foltz, who coached last year, coached the line last year in the lower levels. And so he's a teacher over there. And then new this year, Jim Sarver's also kind of a parent and kids in the athletics area. And so we got 3 solid coaches from them that I feel like maybe can help us get the numbers up a little bit to bring that over, because anytime you do a co-op, man, you got to bring those numbers to be able to go from 1A to 2A. And we got some dudes over there too that I've been able to meet with. Haven't seen them on the field yet, obviously, but Parker Odell is like just this huge lineman. I'm excited to get in and start working with. And Rhett and just Kwame, who played last year. Those guys are excited, and so there's many more. But yeah, as long as we get the numbers, we got the coaches already over there. Now we just got to, again, find a way to integrate and find a way to get them to feel like they are a part of this family.
No, that's super exciting to have both those connected. I know it's amazing. Last year it's pretty cool to show that both of them can be connected and work out well. IHSA changed rules this year. There's an extra week now. You have an extra time in the playoffs. The team who's 3-6 can now talk and punch in. Talk about your, reaction to that, those changes, how you guys are adjusting to, starting a week early now this year with football.
Yeah, unfortunately, so I'm a big summer guy. I really want the focus to be back on family. I honestly, this is personal. This is not Central A&M, so I want to make that really clear. Oh, yeah. So anything I say from here on out is just me personally. I wish ISSA would just get rid of all sports. You can lift and you can do speed training, but let's just have week 1 be week 1. Let's let these kids have their summers back. Let's let their families go on vacation. Let's let So that's kind of, I'm the pendulum is all the way on the other side.
100%.
For me. So unfortunately though, to be able to keep up with the other teams that are successful, you do have to use your summer days. And so I usually don't use all of our days. This year we will, because we have a new offensive system, a new defensive system, and new special teams. So I felt like I didn't want to come into this job and say we're rebuilding. That would be, man, it would hurt our seniors. You know, like they deserve a chance to win now. And so we are going to use all the days that were given to us to help install those so that the seniors can win now. But other than that, like I wish that we didn't have to, but we do. As far as the new rules, like I'm not a big fan of them. I liked the idea of getting to that 5-win, right? And that it was a challenge. Every year, and I just remember celebrating every time we hit the 5-win, and then every time we hit the 6-win, that was guaranteed. Oh, yeah. Right? It was a huge celebration, and so I feel like personally, kind of like a watered down playoff structure now, but I also understand the conference jumping, and there has to be something changed with that. So for us, I mean, we just start August 5th now as our first day, and so we will use all of our summer days. We start August 5th, and then it's go time after that. And wherever playoffs lands, man, we're just going to compete every game, week in, week out. Hope to make a deep playoff run, but like I said, so many things have to fall into place for you to do that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a different adjustment. A lot of high schools have been talking about it. I think there's more, people saying they don't really like the new system, but it's an adjustment everyone's going to have to make no matter what, so you can't control that. Looking to this fall season, your schedule's out now. You know what's coming your way. What are you planning this fall? What are you looking for? What are some top matchups you guys are looking forward to play here?
Yeah, I mean, luckily you have a couple of the old rivalries when I grew up here, so you still got Shelbyville and Warrensburg and Clinton. But man, after that, like you also look at the schedule and you see some tough playoff contenders year in, year out. Tri-Valley, I went up against them. I believe second round in playoffs down in Pana and lost to them. DMAC is another name that, they're constantly in the playoffs. And so, that's what people kind of talked about whenever I took the job. The first thing was, well, good luck with this schedule, But I also believe, like, man, a tougher schedule gets you prepared better for the playoffs. And so, man, these kids just got to understand that with this new culture, like, we believe we're going to win every game. Even if we go up against Rochester, we may have a 0% chance of winning, but we're going to believe that we're going to win that game, and we're going to compete like we're going to win that game. And so I feel like as long as we have that mindset, then I feel like we can do well even with a tougher schedule, which then will prepare us for hopefully a deep playoff run.
No, for sure. And I think that's the right mindset to have. Your top players that are coming back, a lot of injuries, you build into these guys. Talk about some of those top guys you're looking forward to have big years and have, a standout year, having your, Rhett McLean's back, having Ravello looking healthy, your sights back in. Talk about some of those top players, what you're looking for them this fall to do.
Yeah, I mean, last year, again, seeing the guys that were out, but so seeing the guys on the field, I just remember Caden, my nephew, and then Aiden. I remember seeing them catch balls, run routes, quick as lightning. Caden was throwing his body around on defense and just laying hits, and weighing probably $160 or whatever he weighs. Oh, yeah. But he was a hard-nosed kid, and so seeing those guys come back. Really exciting. Ace Spinner is another one. Yep. I know he's a basketball guy, but he plays football. He played it well last year. So to see what he does, then you get Victor and you get Rhett back. Your whole offensive line basically is coming back. I've been able to throughout weights and stuff just kind of get to know those guys because I don't care how many dudes you have out there. If you don't have an O-line that can block, then you're not doing anything. And so I want our O-line to feel like a special group because they are. Because it takes a special kid to battle every single play in the trenches, every game. And so they are the first and utmost importance for us to make sure that they're out there, they're working hard, and they get recognized for what they do. Because what they do determines then how we roll. And our kids who are out there skill-wise aren't going to do anything if we can't get the O-line going. Coach Mo's coming back from last year, and so I was really excited that he's going to be back. He built a lot of relationships with those kids the last few years. He's coached for a long time here at Central A&M, and so we got him back. I've been able to meet with him, and so we've been talking through the system and stuff and just how to get our O-line successful in their blocking schemes. And man, we get that part and that piece fixed fixed, like I said, I think we're going to be really successful this year.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a lot of talent come back, a lot of depth, which is super exciting for you. You know, once again, you said it's not a rebuilding year. This is a team that can go compete, that can make a deep playoff run.
Yeah.
Last question for you today, Coach. This community, Central A&M, Okaw Valley, what can they do to support you as a coach now, support your players, and be there during all these games coming up here in this fall?
Yeah, number one, I feel like you just have to trust. You have to trust that the coaching staff, and again, they don't all know me yet, but once they figure out that, man, I am their kids' biggest fan. No matter where you're at, no matter what you play, I'm here for these kids. I treat every kid like they were my own, and so just trust that the coaching staff kind of knows what they're doing and allow us to do that work. Number one. Number two, come out, show up. Show up for games, and you know, we're trying to build a different culture. We're trying to build a different environment. So, you know, I'm working my way through trying to get us a run-out tunnel and smoke bombs, and you know, like all that stuff that we built down there. That entrance is just top notch.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like a college-like atmosphere, and so to be able to do that, though, I mean, your fans got to be there supporting you, and so, man, yeah, just trust that the coaching staff knows what they're doing, allow us to do our work, and then number two, show up and just support these kids like crazy, and we're going to also do a few things too that helps with that within the community, and so we're going to try to get out and serve the community a little bit, show them that we're not just about football. We want to help serve any way we can. So again, not only do the players feel like they're part of the family, but I want all the communities to feel like they're in this too. We got one game over at Okaw. And so I think that's going to be exciting for them.
That will be exciting, yeah.
To be able to see a varsity game, and some of those people may have not been to one last year and haven't been to one in years, and so for us to be able to bring that down there over there to them, I think will help to build that culture. But yeah, I'm really excited. I know the kids are super excited, and just hoping that the community will show up and support us. Home games, away games, playoff games especially, you know, you need people there, and yeah, I think that's what I would say for them to be able to help support the team.
Awesome. Well, Coach, we're super excited for this 2026 season. I believe it's going to be a really good success. We're excited for a new chapter for you.
All right, thanks, man.
Yep. Appreciate it, Coach. Nailed it.